Nobody saw it coming, but maybe they should have. Hi, I'm Chuck Vosberg from Next Home Gulf to Bay, along with my wife Pat, your favorite realtors. And today I have a story for you that has a very powerful lesson, and I'd really like you to listen to this because maybe you or someone you know could fall into this trap and it can be a disaster. So here's the situation. We met with a brother and sister at a piece of property nearby, and they were down from up north. Their mom had passed away unexpectedly. So, needless to say, they were, in grief and needed to be able to sell the property. Now, I want to give you a little bit of backstory here because these details will be important when we get to the meat of the story. So, the brother and sister, they live up north. The property's down here. Beautiful piece of property. The mom had the foresight to have all her paperwork in order. She had a will, stuff was in a trust, everything was all set. And so that made the sale of the property pretty easy for this brother and sister, which is a real gift. And that's a whole nother video of getting your ducks in a row. So if something happens to you, to make it easy for the survivors to be able to do what they need to do with your property. But anyway, there was one little catch. The boyfriend of the deceased mom, boyfriend of 19 years, was living at the property. Now, here's where it gets sticky because we've got the brother and sister. They need to sell the property. And I don't know what their situation is, none of my business. But they need to sell that property, and they need to sell it quickly. So the boyfriend is in a very, very difficult position now. He's got 30 days to move out. So he's lost his girlfriend of 19 years. He's got 30 days to move, and the whole thing happened overnight, totally unexpected. And if you ask me, this whole thing is a tragic story all the way around. Now, maybe the deceased mom, maybe she didn't intend for the boyfriend to ever get anything. We don't know. That's not something that we have any way of knowing. But the bottom line is, this guy was left in a very, very difficult position. Now, it kind of caught him off guard, so he's grieving, he has to move. He was, probably financially not prepared to do this because the whole thing happened unexpectedly. And the whole thing was tragic. So the point of my story is this. Maybe you're in a situation where you're in a long-term relationship with somebody and one of you owns the property and the other one is living there. In this case, mom owned the property and the boyfriend was living there with her. So he didn't really have any claim on the property. Well, regardless of which side of that equation you're on, it would make sense to make sure that arrangements are made. Maybe you should discuss this with each other. I know people don't like to talk about death, but it's something that's going to happen. It's the death rate has always been the same. It's one apiece. And it's something that we're going to have to deal with, and the sooner the better. Get your will in order. Discuss it with your significant other and your family. Make sure that you've got everything in line. Make sure people know what you want to have happen so that if something does happen to you, or I should say when something does happen to you, then everything is set. If you're on the other side of the equation, maybe you're in a relationship where you're living with somebody else and they own the property and you're living with them, you might want to make sure that in the event of their passing, that you know what's going to happen. Now, whether or not you get anything out of it, that's their business. But you need to know that so you can plan ahead and not suddenly one day having two people show up at your house and say, look, I'm really sorry, but you've got 30 days to move out of here. Can you imagine living somewhere for 19 years and having to move all your stuff out of there in 30 days? I mean, I can't. It would be a nightmare. So, the moral of this story is twofold. Get your paperwork in order. Go talk to an attorney. Get everything lined up. It's the best gift you could possibly give to the people who are left behind. And secondly, have that difficult discussion with your loved ones. Make sure you discuss what's going to happen if and when one of you passes, and make sure everybody knows so that they can plan ahead for the unfortunate event, and also so that they can make sure that whatever you want to have happen happens the way you want it to. So talk to your lawyer, talk to your people. That's my advice to you. It was a tragic story. Pat and I see this time and time and time again, where families are caught off guard by the sudden passing of somebody, and it's never easy unless they've done what I said to do. So I'm Chuck Vosberg from Next Home Gulf to Bay. We put humans over houses. If you have any questions, just ask. We'll tell you anything you want to know. No strings attached. Like I said, we put humans over houses. And maybe you or someone you know is thinking about moving. Well, if you are, I'd love to help. Pat and I just love helping people. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day. Bye-bye.